Hello and welcome to today's video. Today looking at a couple of inks from Tom's Studio. Here I have them in the cheeky little ink sample, which I'll show you in just a second. But we've got two colors here. We've got Ivy, which is a lovely sort of pastel warm green, and Iris, which is a beautifully vibrant violet sort of colored ink. The Tom Studio ink line is curated by Tom Studio, and the colors are all designed to be referencing of like the pens and things in their collection, and also have really excellent performance. They're also pretty decently priced. So these are the 5 milliliter ink sample version. It comes with a little glass vial here with a little eyedropper pipette on the top there. These are perfectly fine. You can't fill directly through a pen. Like the opening is so small on these that you can't actually get a pen sort of in there, but you can fit some converters in. They're also great for those pens from Tom Studio that use a wicking system like the Ren or the Lumos, things like that. But I have, yes, so you can get a converter in there. I've just been decanting a little of the ink into something like an ink miser and filling from that. I really enjoy these inks. I've been using them now for a little while. So today we're going to look at them on some different kinds of paper and give some thoughts. Now, I'll say at the outset, I am an ambassador of Tom Studio. So I do have a discount link in the video description here. That will give you a little discount on selected products from Tom Studio, which, you know, hopefully helps you get into these products, but also it sends a little bit of support my way to sort of help out the channel. All funds made from those links all go directly back into the channel. So let's look at them here on some coloring cards. So we've got Iris and Ivy, and as you can see, beautiful colors, nice shading, nice depth of color, nothing sort of too out there, nothing in terms of, you know, super extreme performance. You will see a little bit of sheen on the Tomo River paper, but there's no shimmer or anything like that. They're just really solid, good quality inks that, you know, perform really well in fountain pens. And here they are on good old stock 52 GSM Tomo River paper. If I bring up those colouring cards just again, you can see that the colours are a little darker, more muted, warm toned on Tomo River paper. You know, Iris is very vibrant on the colouring card and it's a lot warmer, darker here on the Tomo River, same as Ivy, which is nice and is something we do see occasionally with Tomo River paper. You also see a bit of sheen, so there's a sort of a gold copper sheen on Iris there, and then a red copper sheen on Ivy. Low water resistance, they're not designed to be waterproof. Tom Studio do have a couple of inks that are more water resistant, but these are not those. In terms of price, it's £4.50 for that 5 milliliter little cheeky sample, and then the 50 ml bottle is £14.95. Now I had these in two pens. Firstly, I wrote with them both with a glass dip pen, which I really like for sort of getting quite saturated writing samples, and then I had Iris in my Tom Studio fountain pen with a medium nib, and the Tom's Pocket pen had Ivy in there with its fine nib. Not a huge difference in the nib sizes on the paper. They write really well. They're smooth. They're not super wet, particularly Ivy, and I don't mind that. On the reverse of this page, you can see nothing from the writing has come through. Both swatches come through, but I laid down quite a lot of ink there, hence why we're getting lots of sheen and shading and all those kinds of things. But in the general writing, nothing has come through. Next, we have it here on the low quality, the cheap student notepad paper from Spyrex. The colors are a lot more muted here, and it really amplifies the dryness of the Tom's of Ivy. There is a little bit of feathering, but it's not too bad. But on the reverse, we get quite a lot of bleed, as you would expect from this paper. Like, this is not fountain pen friendly paper, so you know, if you're expecting perfect performance on this kind of paper, then maybe don't use a fountain pen. But that is what you get with these inks. On the 80 GSM office copy paper, a little bit of feathering once again, but it's not so bad. See a little bit of feathering there on the T of Tom's, but you know, it looks okay. You know, we've got some decent sort of performance happening here, and the colors, while being muted and losing any of the shading, is okay. The reverse of this, once again, not fountain pen friendly paper, but what I will say is that these do bleed on this paper just a little more than I would personally expect or like to see. I've certainly seen inks perform better on this paper, but you know, once again, not fountain pen friendly paper, so what do you expect? And then here we have it on 80 GSM Rhodia. Now you will see in the swatch there's a tiny little bit of feathering, which you don't see a lot, but I did lay quite a lot of ink down there. Low water resistance again, particularly from Iris. Ivy tends to sort of leave a little bit of a grey line behind. You can see that, you know, decent wetness on this paper, nice concentration, a bit of shading, all of that. The colours look good. Ivy is not a vibrant foresty leafy green. It's sort of more muted. It's kind of got a pastel sort of quality to it. I think it tends to lean into like the aqua side of green personally, and the vibrancy of Iris there being quite violet. I think it looks good on this page. We're getting some nice dark shading, and I think it performs really well on the front side. On the reverse side, however, lots from the swatch as you'd expect, but nothing from the writing. A couple of spots there where I laid down quite a lot, a bit of a stress test there, if that's in frame. But, you know, it's okay. I've certainly seen worse once again. So these perform okay, and the colours are nice, and the prices are good. Yeah, I think these are really interesting inks. Let's do a quick colour comparison now. So we'll start with Ivy, and a couple of things I wanted to show it alongside was one of my favourite recent greens, which is Grünkohl from Octopus Fluids and Fountain Fader. You can see it's definitely on the lighter side. There's a lot more blue, less of that sort of greeny brown undertone. And then Wearingall's Beneath the Wheel, which tends to be, once again, a little greener, not quite as green as Grünkohl, but definitely not as sort of that blue pastel-y sort of colour of Ivy. And just for the sake of the record, here it is alongside Robert Oster's Sydney Darling Harbour. It has some similarities here, but I think Sydney Darling Harbour leans much deeper into that sort of aqua tone. And then we have Tom's Studio Iris. Now, as I said, this is a violet-y ink, and here's Cross Violet. It's more pinky than the violet of Cross Violet. It's closer, but still lighter there than Akamar number 13 Simplicity's Violet, which is one of my favourite sort of violet purple inks. And of course, because it is in the purple family, there's inevitably going to be that question, does it compare with Lamy Dark Lilac? Well, here is the swatch of 2016 Lamy Dark Lilac, one of my absolute favourite inks, and it is completely different. This really leans into the blues a lot more. This is a very traditional, in my mind, traditional iris coloured ink. Probably two of the closest inks I have to it are Pilot Oroshizuku Murasaki Shikibu and Tacha Murasaki. I think the Pilot Oroshizuku is quite close, but a little more blue in it perhaps, and Tacha there shows once again some similarities, but very much in its own colour family. So that was Ivy and Iris by Tom's Studio. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. These are nice inks, nicely priced. As I said, starting at £4.50 for the 5ml bottle means that you can try this ink and a range of others. I do little bundles and things like that. Head over to the Tom's Studio website, check out things like the inks and the pens. You know, as I said, these fountain pens are great. I also use the Wren quite a lot, which is their fibre tipped pen. There's reviews of all of that on my channel. But I wanted to show a couple of the inks today because I think they're really rather nice. So please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button, all that kind of stuff. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, or if there's a way you would like to support my channel, I would love to hear from you. In the meantime, enjoy your pens and inks and all that good stuff, and I'll talk to you soon.